Herman Cain is with us. The Democrats are making this about Trump. I mean, you can joke around and say, never let a good crisis go to waste, Herman, but essentially, that data was used by the Trump campaign, and that brings in Trump into this mess with Facebook, doesn't it?
It does, but I don't think there's much there. And here's why. Remember, the Democrats have been trying to tie Trump to Russia for a year. Collusion. So if there's any connection at all, I don't anticipate that it's going to be something that's going to be damaging.
This undercover tape that was run by Channel 4 in Britain is an undercover tape with Alexander Nix, the CEO of this Cambridge Analytica. In that tape, he's talking about bribery and corruption and blackmail. And this was a company founded, I believe, by Steve Bannon. This is going to come up in America.
It's going to come up, but I think that we're a long way from having any definitive facts about what actually happened. All you have to do is look at some of these other theories that have been out there, and they go on and on and on, and there's no there. I'm not saying that there isn't any there. I'm just saying it's way too early to begin to make any conclusions about what he said or what they think that they have found.
I think that Mark Zuckerberg is going to be dragged in front of certainly the British Parliament and probably Congress here. And I think the Democrats will have a field day with that.
They will have a field day with that. And here's the other thing. Facebook started out as a neutral platform. Now, when they become not neutral, they get in trouble in terms of people not being able to trust them. I think that that is an issue that is now surfacing because of what that guy said, as well as the breach that some people don't want to call it breach. I agree with Liz. It is a breach of sorts because he used his academic identity in order to be able to get in and get information and then release it without people knowing about it. That, I think, is a bigger issue.
I know you're an investor, Herman, so
yes.
Would you buy Facebook this morning at $170 a share?
No, I would not, and here's why. There are a lot of other alternatives that I have in order to be an investor at this particular point. It's not that I'm against Facebook, but my investment strategy is a little different than buying a stock at $170 a share.
I do understand these things. Herman, hold on. We'll see you shortly, just about 10 minutes a little later on the show.